speaker is an esteemed Camarines Sur Polytechnic College's College of Technological and Developmental Education faculty member with a PhD in Language and Literacy Development from Ateneo de Naga University. She currently holds the rank of Assistant Professor 4, and her academic and research passions revolve around language studies, reading development, educational assessment, new literacies, and intervention of literacy impairments. And beyond her teaching and research, she plays a vital role in the institution's growth and quality, and she has presented her research at both national and international forums and has taken on the pivotal administrative positions. So this includes serving as the director of the Center for Quality Assurance and Management Services, where she is also the ISO chairperson and as the director for institutional planning and development. In addition, she contributes as the performance management team member, secretary, and as an active part of the CSPC AACUP and ISO internal accrediting team. Now, her commitment to both educational and institutional excellence highlights her multifaceted expertise and dedication. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our speaker, Dr. Maribel F. Paicana.
Thank you, Ms. Riza, for that generous introduction. So allow me to share my presentation. I'd like to greet everybody for taking your time off to attend our research webinar. Okay, so let's get started. Right. So when you started your research journey, right? So I think we have now a different definition of happiness. Okay, you can utilize the emoticon or to just to interact with me. Do you agree that when we started our research journey, when we enrolled in our master's and doctoral degree, happiness, the definition of happiness is now different, right? Because for me, on my own context, when I started my PhD and some of my research activities here in CSPC, the definition of happiness for me is to complete to complete what I have started. And I think that is also the same with you. We share the same happiness, that it is indeed happy for us to complete what we have started, right? So of course, to finish what we have started, we should not stop in chapter 3 or in the methodology. So we have to move on to the most important part of our paper or our thesis or dissertation, right? So we have arrived to the most important, or for me, siguro, most challenging, okay, and most arduous part of our paper, right? But before I reveal, kindly interact with me and give me, if you could describe in an emotion or feeling, how can you describe, or what emotion can you give to chapter 4, to writing the discussions, findings, results, discussion, and conclusions. Yeah, I would give you 2 seconds thinking time, or 5 seconds thinking time to give your response. So if you could give an emotion or feeling, how would you describe writing the most important part, which is the chapter 4, discussion, okay, findings or results, and discussions and conclusions. Okay, so thank you for the response from Teresa. What about the others? Can they participate? All right. So what is that? Or you can also type in word, okay, a feeling or an emotion, sad, meron namang happy, meron namang nagmamakaawa, okay? So you can also write in word. Yan. So bittersweet. Oh, thank you so much. Sige pa. Come on, keep them coming. Right? Yung iba, nagka-cry. Right? So, yeah, thank you very much for your responses. Okay, thank you so much for your interaction. Yeah, I share the same sentiment with you. Okay, I share the same emotion with you um when I am in this chapter. Talagang it's the most tasky part, and it's very hard, right? It's the most hard um part of the paper. But of course, we don't have any choice, right? We don't have any choice but to move on, to continue of what we have started, or else hindi tayo makakagraduate, right? Sa mga nagre-research dito, or sa mga nag-graduate naman, or else hindi tayo maka-receive ng ating incentive. Hindi tayo papayagan mag-present ng ating paper. Okay. All right. So, of course, once you have completed, the satisfaction is there. Okay, congratulations. But of course, before I give you that congratulations, that heartfelt congratulations, you need to go through with the most exciting part of writing your paper. So, excited ka na ba with the exciting part? Kaya pa ba? Okay, with this most exciting part of writing the part of your paper. Sabi pa nga ng ibang lectures, ang part na to is the heart, or yung iba ang gamit meat of the paper. Kaya nasa exciting part na tayo. Okay, so whatever emotions that you are feeling, tinitingnan mo yung paper mo and you don't know how to start. Ako nga when I did my dissertation, it took me several months, or parang years pa to just to get started, just to keep the ball rolling. Kasi for me, medyo talagang challenging yung part na yun. But for the others, if you find it easy, okay lang yan. Congratulations because you find it easy. Kayo na po. Sana all. Yeah? All right. Okay. So, we are now going to discuss chapter 4, and chapter 4 is writing the results of your paper. But before you proceed to this part, it means that you have already completed the collection of your data. Syempre, you cannot move on to writing your results or findings, and you cannot discuss your results and findings if you are not yet done with the collection of your data, right? You have already identified the most suitable method of analysis of each type of data, right? And then you carried out analysis to your data. Okay, so you also carried out some additional tests to verify the reliability of your measures and the suitability of your data. Then you do also some changes, okay, if necessary, right, to your data or method of analysis based on the outcome of those tests. And after that, syempre, nag-analyze ka na rin, right? Data including a review of summary data to elaborate on those findings if necessary, right? So if you've checked all those, so you are now in this part of your paper and you're going now to report, okay? You're now going to report the findings of your study, and that is the part where you're going to write in the results section. Okay, so as the definition says, this section is the part where you report the findings of your study based upon the methodology or methodologies you applied to gather information, right? So while it is fair to say that announcing the findings is the most noteworthy part of this process, you should not underestimate the importance of explaining the analyses or relating the findings to the research questions. So explaining the method of analysis is critical because it helps your audience see where those findings came from, right? So of course, you want to walk through your audience and make them believe that your findings are accurate, okay, that your findings are of credibility, right? So you need to show them, okay, through the method of analysis used to produce those findings. And that is in this part or section of your paper. Okay, so the result section is just, you're just going to report the findings. Okay, you're just going to state what you have found out in your analysis. Okay, and arrange it in a logical sequence without bias or interpretation. Right. So because many minsan nako-confuse sila kung ano ba yung difference ng results sa discussion. Kaya minsan napapag-interchange ito ng karamihan. So we need to be definite, right, on the difference of these two. That findings or results section is different from the discussion section. Right? Because in the findings, you're just going to report what you have found out from the word itself. Okay, so without bias or interpretation. So your interpretation falls under the discussion section. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Okay, so for everybody, I hope that's clear. So you're just going to present what you have, the outcome of your paper without any interpretation. All right. So in the collection of your data, as you all know that you have collected, you have analyzed your data, okay, based on the sources of your the sources of the results where you derive your data. So you conducted experiment, you conducted interview, okay, FGD, survey, observation, documentary analyses, and mixed methods. Okay, so these are the sources of your data, wherein in which you're going now to discuss in the results section. Okay, so again, so this is just a repetition. So the result is you're just going to indicate what you found in your research. You give the results, but do not interpret them. Okay, you explain the methods of analysis you used, the main findings of that analysis, and what answers to the research questions those findings provide. Yeah, so I hope that's clear. All right, so based on the research that I found out, these are the functions of the results section. Okay, so to summarize and discuss the results, to make link between the results and literature, to discuss the implications of the results, to interpret and cross-check the results. Okay. However, many find this difficult, of course. But as I mentioned a while ago, that even me, it really took me a time to just start the writing of the results section. Mas lalo sa discussion section. My goodness. So, many neophyte researchers and even experts researchers found difficulties in writing the discussion results section. Okay, because of, so these are the reasons based on the research, a lack of linking between sections or ideas, lack of generalizations, topics, sentences, lack of introductions or lead-ins, language proficiency problems, grammar, vocabulary, and so we all know this. Yeah? So this is one of the difficulties encountered. Convoluted writing with ideas insufficiently explained, inconsistent use of terms, emergent or unpolished writing, lack of knowledge about DRS as a genre. All right. So if these reasons are true to you, okay, you are not alone. You are not alone. All of us share the same difficulties, especially writing this in this section. Right. So, but there is good news, right? But there is good news because my topic this afternoon, I will be sharing to you some tips and structure to help us out on this challenging section. All right. So a while back, I discussed to you what is indeed the main focus of the results section. Right, as you could see, here are some samples, okay, for the result. Okay, so pinakita lang dito in the results section, it's just the data is just reported. Okay, so the data is just reported, just like this one. In table 8, the results indicate that cognitive engagement mediated the association between self-awareness and study habits. Therefore, hypothesis is accepted. Cognitive engagement mediated the relationship between self-motivation and study habits. Okay, and approves hypothesis 4.2. Cognitive engagement mediated the connection between regulation of emotion and study habits, and approves hypothesis 4.3. Lastly, cognitive engagement mediated the connection between social skills and study habits. Thus, hypothesis is approved. The result indicate that all hypotheses listed in table 8 are approved. So this is an example of a result. It's just the findings are just reported in this section. There is no interpretation. The author does not make sense yet of the findings. He or she just reported, okay, the outcome of the study. So this study is from the study entitled The Impact of Emotional Intelligence on Students' Study Habits and Blended Learning Environment. Okay, so that's clear now. So babalikan natin yung discussion later. My focus first is on the result. So another example, the result section. So it's just presented here. Table 4 shows that there is a significant relationship between the teacher's pedagogical orientation in integrating technology in the online classroom to students' motivation and engagement. Hence, the study's null hypothesis, stating no significant relationship between pedagogical orientation and student motivation, is rejected. It can be seen in the table that student-centered belief, teacher preparation for computer utilization, integration of computer in the classroom, and attitude towards computer utilization are positively related to the student's level of engagement. Okay, this suggests that the teacher's belief in utilizing student-centered teaching to integrate technology in the language classroom, the higher the students are motivated and engaged in learning. In like manner, it was also revealed that the teacher-centered belief is negatively correlated to students' motivation and engagement in online language learning, which signifies that teacher-directed learning, such as the one-way directed learning, is found not appealing to the motivating characteristics of the language students, right? And then table to support, okay, the result, all right? So I hope that's clear now, okay? So we just clarify that in the results section, we're just going to present the outcome of your analysis of your study. No interpretation yet. Okay, so this is another example of a results section. Okay, and this one is also an example of a results section. All right. So okay lang ba? Nakakasabay? Hindi naman ako mabilis. Okay. Sige. So there are common mistakes. Right. So there are common mistakes in writing the results section. Okay. So first is they try to report too many findings. Okay. So the researchers are overdoing the report of the findings. So the good results section is where you tell your audience only those things they need to know. So we have to be concise. We have to be direct. So we don't have to report too many findings, or else we will confuse or bore our audience. Okay. than impress them, because I understand that there are many researchers who want to impress. Okay, they want to elaborate more because they want to impress their audience, because they have a vast vocabulary, but the result of that would more likely to confuse or bore them. So the secret, okay, is just to be concise. Just tell them, be concise, be brief. Okay, so do not try to report too many findings. Right. So another mistake, okay, na usually committed by, especially by the neophyte researchers, is they explain their findings. Okay, I mean they explain their statistics, not the findings. Okay, pero we are reminded this afternoon that we need only to explain our findings, not our statistics. Okay, so examples of unnecessary explanations, offering a basic explanation on what an analysis of this type is designed to do, proving definitions for all the terminology used in the analysis, detailing every step in the analysis, and discussing why this type of analysis is the appropriate methods of analysis for the research design. Okay, so in short, too verbose, too many words. Then the result of it, you hit or you miss the mark of just giving or telling your audience of your findings because of too many words, because of too many unnecessary explanations. We miss our target instead of giving our readers or audience the results or the outcome of our study. They got confused, right? Because of too many details. So example for this, an example for this, here. So when John is discussing his ANOVA analyses, he does not need to explain the basic facts about the ANOVA, such as that an ANOVA is used to find differences between groups, or that an ANOVA is appropriate when comparing more than two groups. Right? So we don't need to discuss or explain the basic facts about the ANOVA. Right? I experienced this when I presented my title during my dissertation proposal. So talagang yung dean, pinagtawanan ako. So sabi niya, do not state the basic anymore. Not the proposal para. When I presented my paper, final defense, talagang pinagtawanan ako ng dean at ng panelists ko because I explained the statistics. When in fact, it's basic. Okay, so no need for that. He also does not need to explain what terms like significance mean because they know that already. Okay, when using them to report the findings of the ANOVA. One example of something he would need to explain is that in the final step of the ANOVA, he used the Bonferroni analysis. And so kasi hindi nila alam to. So you need to state this one. This is not basic. All right, this is not a basic fact. So you need to explain it in your paper. This deserves a mention because there are many ways you can carry out that final step in the ANOVA. And so his audience needs to know in which John chose to do it. So why you chose it? So that needs an explanation. So not the basic facts about the statistics that you are using. Okay, so those are the two common mistakes, and I hope that we're able to avoid them as we are venturing now in writing the section, the result section, right? Okay, so any questions about the results section? Okay, it's because we are now going to proceed to the next part. So I hope that's everything is clear about the result section, right? So now, after the result, of course, you need to discuss. Okay, in the result, you just presented the outcome of your analysis. Now, in the discussion section, this is where the discussion of the relevance of your results lies and how your findings fit with other research in the area. Okay, so it will relate back to your literature review and your introductory thesis statement. Okay, kaya in the discussion section, we really need to go back to the literature review. Kaya napaka-importante po, guys, ng literature review. Okay, we don't have to underestimate the literature review because that is the first basic important step that we need to conduct in research. Because when we arrive at the discussion, we will go back to the related literatures and studies that we reviewed. Okay? So this is one of the common mistakes of the students. Akala nila, right, that when they're done with writing the literature review, or literature review, akala na tapos na, ay, thanks God, I'm done with chapter 2, the review of related literature and studies. But they need to be reminded that the literature review that you conducted, you need to go back to that when you are discussing, okay, the relevance of your results. Because you are now going to show how your findings, how your results fit with other research. Okay, so I will show you now some structure, okay, in doing the discussion. So kanina I mentioned many difficulties encountered by many researchers and writers of research paper. As I said, you are not alone. If you encounter the same problem, you are having difficulty in writing the results, and in the discussion section. So here now, my topic, because I'm going to show you, I hope that I could help you, okay, in your difficulty, and I hope to facilitate that you can learn from this structure, and you can also do this, you can also follow this when you are now writing your discussion section. Okay, so the first structure that you can use in writing your discussion is the IPRC structure. Yan, parang IPCR lang, no? So, sounds familiar for the faculty members and non-teaching personnel, because in CSPC we have the IPCR, but in my topic it's IPRC structure. So this is how we arrange the subsections of our discussion. Okay, so the IPRC structure stands for introductory statement. So in your discussion, there should be introductory statement, presentation of the gap being addressed, result of the present study, in comparison of the findings with the previous literature. Okay, so take note of this. So for those who are listening right now, you can screenshot this one because it will help facilitate when you are writing your discussion section. So you could use this first structure. Okay, so introductory statement, presentation of the gap being addressed, result of the present study, and comparison of the findings with the previous literature. So how is it done? So I will show you. Okay? So this paper is published in the Scopus and other quality journals, right? So this is how it is done by the experts. So here is the introductory statement. This study explored the connections between emotional intelligence and study habits through cognitive engagement among students in blended learning environments during COVID-19. Right, so where do you get this? Of course, you have to go back to your chapter 1. Okay, so sa discussion, you need to include a statement, okay, going back to your main objective, and you're going to write it as a subsection of your discussion. So that is an example of introductory statement. Okay, Alright, so next structure, sunod ng I. What's next? P, right? P. All right. So now, you're going to present the gap that you'd like to address in your study. So where would you get this one? Siyempre, you have to go back again to your chapter 1, the gap, right, of your study. So similar studies have been conducted on the same issue in advanced countries, and then citations. Okay, so you really need to cite properly your sources, okay, and then the last name and then the year when it's published. Okay, so and only limited studies have been performed in emerging countries such as China. Okay, and citation again. Right, so this is a kind of gap. Furthermore, the studies that have been conducted in emerging countries reveal results only in pre-COVID-19 situations. As such, the authors claim that the present study is the first to examine the influence of emotional intelligence on the study habits of students studying in blended learning environments in Chinese universities, specifically as it focuses on cognitive engagement as a mediator variable. Yeah? So if you did your gap religiously, you wouldn't have any difficulty in including this subpart in the discussion section, because you're just going to call this out, the subsection from your chapter 1 when you presented the gap of your study. But during defense, you will be asked by your panel members, why do you want to conduct this study? What is the gap in the body of in the body of knowledge that you would like to bridge, to address? So that is the importance of doing your gap or doing your chapter 1 religiously. Okay, right? Because here in the discussion section, you will just call it out and then paste it there as part of the subsection. Okay, so we're done with introductory. Then you proceeded with the gap. You presented the gap that you would like to address. Okay, the IP. Then next, ano ang susunod na gagawin mo in your discussion? Okay, the R. Ano yung R? Ha? Ano nga yung R? Yan, syempre, the result na. Okay? So, the results of the study. Saan mo rin to kukunin? Of course, in the results section. So the results indicate that self-awareness and management positively and significantly influence study habits, which approves hypotheses. Yan. So kanina, di ba, I mentioned this in the, I read a particular example when presenting your results section. So this is just called out from the results section. Prior studies also confirmed that self-awareness and self-motivation have a positive connection. Right. So this is the result. Yung blue na to is part of the gap. So kaya siya nag-blue. Okay. So this is just part of how you would discuss. But the most important thing here is you included an introductory, the gap, and then the result of the study. But of course, you need now to discuss the relevance of the result. And that is the function of discussion. But you now have to interpret. You now have to explain exhaustively the significance of your results. Kaya ito dinagdag under the results of the study. Okay, so prior studies also confirm that self-awareness and self-motivation have a positive connection with study habits. And then citation. The relationship between emotional intelligence and study habits has been discussed in previous studies, and their results confirmed that emotional intelligence promotes a positive relationship with study habits. Citation. However, in the research, the associations of emotional intelligence, dimensions, regulation of emotions, and social skills were found to be positive and insignificant with regard to study habits. Okay, but the main thing here that I'm explaining is you are now going to present your result here as part of the structure in discussing your in discussing in discussing the findings of your results under the discussion section. Okay, so that is part of this IPRC structure. Right, so next subsection of IPRC structure, okay, is the comparison of the findings with the previous literature. So as I read kanina, so that is now part wherein you compare, okay, your findings with other previous literature. Okay, kaya siya nag-blue. So you are now going to compare. Okay, so if your study agreed with the previous literatures and studies conducted on the similar topic, or if your study does not confirm the previous literature or studies. So you need to discuss them here. Okay, then practical implications. So a plausible reason for these results could be that universities did not fully prepare their students to develop emotional intelligence in the area of regulation of emotion and social skills. There could be other reasons for these results, such as the students' weak social skills and poor regulation of emotion, owing to fewer face-to-face interactions in blended learning environments during the COVID-19 pandemic. Right. So hindi pala siya IPRC structure, it should be IPRCP structure. Yan. So the practical implication is very essential in the discussion part. Okay? So IPRCP structure. I stands for the introductory, then present the gap, then you present the result, okay? And then you compare it with the previous literature and studies conducted on the similar topic, and then you need to state the practical implication of your study. Okay? So I think I'm facilitating, right? Okay, so I hope na you're now excited writing your discussion part upon knowing that there is a structure to help you, okay, guide your writing. Okay. Right, so next structure that you could use, actually pare-paras lang naman ito sila, nagkakaiba lang yung arrangement, okay? But over and above, these are important elements in the discussion part. Okay, so another structure that you could use, the IREC-L. Okay, so introductory statement again. Then you present directly your result. Then you interpret. Then you compare. Then you present your limitations and recommendations for future studies. Okay, so let's take a look with the example. Right. So introductory statement. This paper is entitled Language Teachers' Pedagogical Orientations in Integrating Technology in the Online Classroom, Its Effect on Students' Motivation and Engagement. All right. So here is the introduction of the discussion part. This study explored the relationship between teachers' pedagogical orientations in integrating technology in the online classroom and its effects on students' motivation and engagement. Okay, so again, you will just lift this from your chapter 1, okay, the objective of your study. Na, result na agad. Okay, so i-present na, wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa. Alright, so after you introduce, you give the results. Results of the present study found out that teachers' pedagogical orientations in integrating technology in the online classroom is significantly correlated on students' motivation and engagement. This means that the higher the teacher adhered to teacher-centered beliefs, the lower the students felt motivated and engaged. The reasons behind these findings are when students are empowered to explore and learn language lessons with the use of student-centered teaching strategies in online learning. The higher students manifest motivation and engagement. Yeah. So you present the results na. Okay, again, where do you get this result? From the results section. So you just need to copy and paste it here as part of your discussion. Okay, so the next part of IREC-L structure, okay, interpretation. Once you presented the result, you interpret it. For emphasis, the teacher's beliefs on technology integration significantly influence students' learning motivation. It can be explained that when teachers have a positive attitude towards the use of technology in the classroom, the better they manifest a student-centered teaching approach, which eventually influences students' learning behavior. This study suggests the need for language teachers to adhere to student-centered language learning approaches and strategies to allow students to appreciate language learning tasks and lessen students' language learning anxiety. Yeah, so that's how you interpret your results, which you presented before this one as part of the subsection under the discussion result. Discussion part, I mean. All right, so next, from the IREC-L, you compare. Okay, so the C, you compare with the previous literature and studies. Napaka-importante, okay? So I know that you're familiar with that. You're bombarded with that kind of information. You need to compare it with the conducted research in the past. All right, so here, this is how you compare. The result of the study confirms previous investigations that teachers' pedagogical beliefs in technology integration influence students' motivation. Then citation, where you got that result, okay, wherein you confirm your paper with the previous investigations conducted on a similar topic. So you need to cite the writer or the researchers. Okay, so then these studies affirm that the importance of immersive technologies for learning is noteworthy because it promotes student engagement, basing a pedagogical understanding of what is essential in understanding student learning and teaching. It is necessary to know teachers' diverse philosophies of learning and teaching concerning technology. Yeah. And then the L, which is the limitations and recommendations. Of course, you need to recognize that there is limitation in your study, and that's why you are recommending advances for future studies. Okay, so of course your paper is not perfect, so you are recommending to the future researchers to look into these limitations of your study. Further studies need to confirm this result as they arrive at conclusive findings. Hence, this correlation regarding belief relating to technology among language teachers on online learning has been investigated under self-perception and ideas only, limiting this present study. Okay. So you acknowledge the limitation of your study. So you are recommending for future enhancement, okay? Future need to study, to confirm, to generalize your study, okay? Okay, so is everybody following with this kind of structure? So you could use this structure when you are about to write your discussion part. Okay, so another structure that you could use is the ERCEP structure, okay? So introductory, result, comparison, interpretation, and practical implications. Yeah. So example, for RCEP structure, here is the introductory. Okay. The portion of the study presents the test of difference in the student's level of online language learning engagement and motivation when grouped according to sex. It shows that the gender of the students is not a factor of difference in the online language learning engagement and motivation. It can be inferred that in the context of the study, both groups of students manifested a favorable attitude towards online language learning. So ito pala, mali ako dito. So ito pala yung introductory ha, ito lang. So yung pangalawa that I boxed, that is now the part of the result of the present study. Yeah. So apologies. So yung box na to, that is the result. The previous sentence is the introduction. Okay. Then you compare with the previous literature. So this study confirms, okay, the paper, Abu Radia 1997, finding out no significant difference in the language learning attitude of male and female students in the Canadian context. Hence, this likewise contradicts further studies that female students favor language learning motivation and engagement, since they are naturally linguistically inclined than the males. And then your citations. Okay. Previous studies noted that gender was a significant factor in second language motivation. Okay, citations again, where they emphasized that females were not motivated than males in language learning. Okay, so kino-compare mo na with the previous studies and literature conducted on a similar topic. All right. Next is interpretation. Yeah, you interpret. These studies present present result show that gender is not a factor in language learning motivation, since both male and female respondents are capable of appreciating the role of online learning in their language learning. Practical implication. This result of the study manifested that intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to learn language through online mode is closely related to the appreciation of the male and female students to learn the language as part of their career preparation. Okay, so yun. So this is the practical implication of the result. So you really need to spend time and effort to do well your discussion using a certain structure. You cannot do this in just one night only. So talaga it will take time. So it needs here persistence, okay, perseverance, because you cannot make a complete discussion using the structure. You cannot complete the subsections if you are not reading exhaustively, extensive. Okay, so reading is the key, because you cannot structure your discussion using this guide if you are just reading one study or one literature. Okay, so the key here is you need to read wide and vast literature in order to come up with a very good discussion part using these structures that you would like to use. Okay, so the elements are there. Okay, so the practical implication is there, the introduction is there, the result is there. Okay, you compare it with the previous literature. Okay, you interpret it. So these are the important elements in the discussion part. So dapat po yun complete. All right. So I'm done with the three structures. Are you now excited to start your writing? Or parang nawalan na ulit kayo ng gana? Ay, ang hirap naman. Okay? So sana wag. Okay? Sana your attendance to this seminar will motivate you. Okay? Will give you the push to get started writing your results and discussion. Yeah. So I'm done with the second part of my topic. Okay? So hang in there, please. Okay, hang in there. Malapit na rin naman, but I want you to hang in there, stay with me. Okay? Kasi hindi po kayo magsisisi. I hope. All right. See ya. So, since you're done already with writing your results, you discussed extensively the relevance, you interpret, okay, your findings of the study. Now, of course, you have arrived at um, the later part of your paper. You are now going to conclude. Yeah, congratulations. Nasa conclusions na tayo, di ba? Wow. So, how many sleepless nights, how many candles are you going to burn just to arrive at this part? How many glass of coffee are you going to drink just to arrive at this part? Okay? Kaya nga sabi ko nga ako, when I did my dissertation, ako parang it took me, I think, 2 to 3 years just to finish the chapter 4 of my dissertation. But for those who are able to make it, mga ilang months lang, congratulations, di ba? Lalong-lalo mga students natin sa CSPC, talagang they are able to write, to finish their chapter 4 in just mga weeks na lang. Diba? Congratulations. Right. So, we have now arrived at the conclusion part. So what is conclusion? Yeah? So conclusion is not a repetition of your result. Okay, so remember this one. You are not just going to repeat, right, the results of your study. Right? So you need to state well-articulated outcomes of the study and briefly suggest future lines of research in the area based on findings reported in your paper. Right. So the job of the conclusion is to take a step back and reflect on the discussion as a whole. So you really need to go back to your discussion. Okay, that's why research is an iterative process. Okay, so you need to go back again, move forward and go back again, reflect. Right? So it's not a linear fashion na dire-diretso lang. You really need to step back, go back to your discussion and reflect, okay, on discussion as a whole, highlighting those points which are of the greatest importance. Yeah? So, of all the points you have made in your discussion, which ones do you most want your audience to remember and why? So the aim of this section is to craft the take-home message of your research paper. Okay? So which of all the points that you have shared, which you have discussed, so which among those do you want your reader to remember? Okay, and why? And that is the job of the conclusion. Right? So there is also structure in doing the conclusion. There is just one structure. Okay? So the first paragraph, you need to restate the main objective of the study. Yeah? And the importance of the findings in filling in important gaps in literature. So this is how you structure your conclusion. In the first paragraph, you need to go back again to your main objective. Kaya di ba napaka-importante that you are clear with your objective. Okay, so during your proposal defense, talagang dapat it's being made clear to you what is the direction of your research. What is the main objective of your research? Dahil babalik at babalik ka din doon. Okay? Right. So in the conclusion, you need to revisit again your main objective because you're going to restate that in the conclusion part. Okay, but in the discussion, you stated that. In the conclusion, you are going to state again your main objective. And now you're going to state also how it is important in filling in important gaps in literature. So that is the inclusion of the first paragraph in writing your conclusion. Second to fourth, provide the summary of finding and discuss the practical or theoretical implications. Provide also insights of the study and concluding statement. Right, so you introduce, of course, you need to conclude. Do not leave hanging discussion of your conclusion. You need to, when you provide insights, you need to include a concluding statement. So here is the example of a conclusion. This study assessed the level of literary appreciation and literary reading performance of students with the end of proposing innovative learning tasks to improve their literary appreciation skills. The study revealed, okay, so introduction yan. Okay, so next na, the study revealed that the students have a fair level of literary appreciation skills and a satisfactory level of performance in literary reading. College affiliation spelled out a significant difference in the literary appreciation skills and literary skills, and literary reading analysis performance of the students. Finally, there was a significant positive relationship between the performance and literary appreciation skills of the participants. To enhance the literary skills of the participants, 29 learning activities are proposed as annexed in Appendix A. Okay, so the second paragraph, the findings of the study generally imply that literary reading performance of students is dependent on their literary appreciation skills. Hence, when literary appreciation skills are enhanced, the better the students can manifest a higher level of knowledge in literature reading. This will allow students to understand better the human emotions, insights, themes, and ideas, and significant human experiences conveyed in different literary texts. Concluding statement. Therefore, the utilization of innovative learning tasks will make teaching and reading literature more interesting. Okay, so how is that? So how do you find this conclusion? But it's complete already. There is the introduction. There's the restatement of the main objective until the end, wherein you give the conclusion. Okay, you give a closing statement. So another example, this paper has demonstrated that the ways high school teachers in Vietnam interpret learning LA align with what has been substantiated in the literature and JEC's 2008 guidelines. While teachers believe positively in involving students in making decisions or developing autonomous learning skills, they are less certain about the possibility of doing so, especially because of numerous curricular requirements, little class time, and students' lack of previous experiences with autonomous learning strategies. This gap between teachers' beliefs and practice in enabling LA indicates teachers' various understandings of complicated, multifaceted concepts of this is learning centered, okay, and different pedagogical practices to promote it in classroom. It also illustrates the mismatches in policy, okay, and so on and so on. Right? So I'm not going to read na. So basta babalik lang natin in the structuring of your conclusion, it's here. You need to give the main objective. Then you need to state the importance of your findings, and then summary, then the practical implication, and concluding statement. So when you read sample paper, so dapat mahanap ninyo yung mga subpart structured, okay, in doing your conclusion. So it's there. Okay. So these two papers are example of how conclusion is done, okay, based on the structure that that would help us, okay, that will guide us in writing our conclusion part. All right. So if you're able to do that, if you're able to structure your conclusion as with the guide that I told you this afternoon, congratulations. Congratulations, you have finished the challenging part of your paper. Okay, so you deserve a round of applause, okay, for finishing the heart and the meat of your paper, the chapter 4. Okay, the most arduous part, the most challenging part of your paper. Congratulations, because you have made it. You have completed it. Yeah, so you deserve a round of applause. So what's next? Okay, so you're done with the results. You're done with the discussion of your results. And then after that, you're done with the conclusions. Wow. So sana all, no? Sana all ganon lang kadali, right, na magawa itong part na to. But of course, sa haba-haba man din ng prosesyon, kaysa simbahan pa rin ng tuloy, matatapos rin natin yan. Okay? However long it will take you, you can still, and you will surely finish what you have started. You just need to have a little push from your family members, from your loved ones, from your teachers, of course, from your advisors. Kailangan lang ng gentle reminder na, tapusin mo na yan. Okay? Para matapos na. So yun lagi sinasabi ng ating mga advisors. Tapusin nyo na yan. Okay? Para matapos na. Para makagraduate ka na. Yeah? So, right. So are you now ready to present your paper to your panel members? And surely they will have an intense discussion about your paper, especially on the results, discussions, and conclusions. Are you ready for this? So if you're ready, submit now your paper, okay? And surely your panel member will spend many hours to discuss intensely your paper. Okay, so congratulations. And I hope that it will happen to you sooner. Okay, and I know that you are excited to meet or to meet again, to face again your panel members. And I know that you are ready with their intense questions. Okay, so gusto niyo ba yung nag-aaway-away na ang mga panel members because of your results, discussions, and conclusion? Hindi natin alam, right? But if you do it personally, you can answer. You can ace your defense. All right. So thank you very much, for listening. So thank you. So that's it. That's the end of my topic. So I hope that you get something from my discussion this afternoon. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, thank you very much po, Ma'am Belle, for sharing your insights po on writing, the research, results, discussion, and conclusion. Now, at this moment, we now invite po our participants to submit your questions or comments po via chat. So you may also request to speak po by unmuting your microphone. Okay? So for our first question po, Ma'am Belle, we have here coming from Sir Jason Abuela. So may I ask po if writing conclusion and recommendations have the same tense?
All right. Have the same
Tense po.
tense.
Opo. May
Tense.
I ask po if writing conclusion and recommendations have the same tense?
Same tense. I think they are different. Okay. I just did not proceeded with the discussion of the recommendations because I thought it's not part of my task. So I was given only until the conclusion. but there is another speaker to speak about recommendations. So they're different. But good thing you asked that, because in the discussion part, diba, you are recommending, especially in the what is that structure, you are now giving recommendations also to the future studies to enhance or improve your study, because there are limitations in your study. And you can use also that in writing your recommendations. So in short, they're different.
Okay, so another question po, Ma'am Bell, coming from Sir Jason again. Are the number of findings in the thesis equal to number of conclusion you would make?
Number of
Conclusion you would make. Apo.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I understand, because in some other in some instances where I attend defenses, that is one of the recommendations cited by many panel members, to have one-on-one correspondence. Findings, then one conclusion, then one recommendation. But based on the paper that I scoured over the internet, there is just one conclusion, and that conclusion is jam-packed already. It's already there. So for me, it's just redundant if there is one-to-one correspondence wherein you need to have one conclusion with one finding and then one recommendation. I just don't know with other panel members, but for me, okay, as an advisor and also a panel member, I don't usually recommend that kind of structure na one-on-one correspondence.
Another question po, okay. About po the copy of Ma'am Bell's presentation po. Pwede namin hingin kay Ma'am Bell and then
Yes,
send namin through email po.
yes, I will give a copy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Bell. Any other question po from our participants?
I think they're excited now to write their chapter 4. Please, to finish, especially with my students. Please start now writing your chapter 4 so you could graduate immediately.
Yung iba, Ma'am Bell, kinakabahan daw. There are comments, yung iba kinakabahan daw.
Oo, totoo yan. Okay, I understand. Kasi lahat naman talaga, lalo na pag nasa chapter 4 na ang hirap simulan. Kaya nga sabi ko 'di ba sa inyo, with my experience, it took me 3 years to finish my dissertation. Kasi I got stuck with the methodologies. And then I interviewed, gather ko ng data. But when it comes to results and discussion, my goodness, it took me so many sleepless nights. At pag wala na talagang pumapasok sa isip, matutulog na lang. Mas okay na lang matulog kaysa sa hindi matulog. Pero wala tayong choice. You don't have any choice but to finish what we have started. Or else, lalo na sa mga scholars dyan, magpi-payback kayo. Okay? Kaya we need a push from our loved ones and our advisors. Kaya this is also a suggestion for everybody. Work closely with your advisors. So may mga estudyante talaga, with my experience, with my CSPC students who chose me as their advisor, minsan hindi nagpaparamdam. Diba? So pagkatapos ng proposal defense, wala nang paramdam, wala nang message. So parang, ako, okay. So ibig sabihin, kaya nila. Right? So kaya kailangan you need to work closely with your advisors, because your advisor will somehow push you, kay motivate you to just keep moving kaysa sa wala kayong natatapos.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. Hello po.
Yes po.
Paano namin magkukuha yung advisor namin, ma'am? Kasi ang sabi daw, yung CSPC magbibigay ng advisor. Hanggang ngayon, wala pang advisor.
Okay. Okay. Sir, I think you need to ask your research instructor about it. Kasi for our context in CTDE, may mga instances po talaga na may mga instructor, sila na nag-a-assign ng advisor meron naman mga students, sila talagang pumipili ng kanilang advisors.
Sa
I
amin
think,
kasi ma'am, nagsabi ng namin, ng teacher, si President Atyan,
sa
nagsabi
masters.
daw, ibibigay yung namin, yung topic, doon kuwan, sa office ng kuwan. Tapos
Yes.
ibibigay doon sa mga what do you call that? Yung mga instructor na pwedeng mag-handle ng research namin. Pero shall we wait or paano?
Okay. All right. So I think I'm not the right person also to address that matter, sir. Pero for me lang, maisa-suggest ko lang, I think you need to reach out to Ma'am Dul, your research instructor. Parang I think siya po yung right person. So you could follow up your concern to her or the grad school office.
Kasi nakita ko doon sa chat, ay sa group chat, meron nang nagbigay ng mga titles. Saka na ni Chris Atyan yung namin, yung 1 to 3. Kaya, bali naka-ready na yung 1 to 3. Siguro, paano ang magbibigay pa kami sa school or mag-aantay na lang kami?
Opo. I think, sir, you need to follow up that matter to your research instructor or the grad school office. Kasi alam ko parang excited na si sir magsulat ng kayang chapter 4, right? So, I think you need to ask Ma'am Dud about it po.
Yung kasi si Ma'am Dulce, ma'am, tiningnanan yung mga namin. Meron na kaming chapters 1 to 3 and pinasok na sa Turnitin. Kaya parang naka-ready na. Siguro ang iniintay na lang namin yung advisor namin.
I see.
Siguro si Ma'am Risa, hindi siguro. Kasi malalayo kami, malalayo. Papunta dyan sa CSPC. Siguro magkuha na lang doon sa chat.
I think po, sir, sa Dean's office po,
Grad school
i-raise po ang
office.
concern. Opo.
Yes, ma'am.
Pero sir, may pinili na po kayong advisor. May na-nominate na po kayong advisor.
Wala po. Sabi kasi sila ang magbibigay ng advisor sa amin. Kasi kukuha daw sa program chair. Yung mga title namin, siyempre pupunta sa mga program chair. Tapos bibigyan na kami ng advisors. Hindi kami ang magkukuha ng advisor. Yun ang suggestion ni Ma'am Dulce.
Opo, sir. I think to clear things out, sir, I think you need to coordinate it with the dean's office and also with your program chair po.
Siguro ma'am, kung pwede ma'am, yung result ng question ko, mailagay na lang doon sa chat namin. May group chat kami para hindi na kami pumunta dyan. Di alam na namin kung bibigyan kami o kami ang magpipili ng advisor.
Okay. Sir, what if po we have our Facebook page, the CSPC Center for Research and Development, and you may directly send your concern through Messenger po, and then i-forward po namin yung concern niyo, sir.
Sige po.
Thank you.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Pero
Salamat po.
halos ganoon ang concern namin. yung mga nakagawa na.
Apo, sir.
Thank you po.
Apo, ganun na lang po, sir, gawin natin.
Yes,
I-forward
ma'am.
na lang po namin concern niya. Alright.
Okay
Well,
po.
thank you very much po,
Thank you
sir.
po.
And also, thank you po, Ma'am Bell. Any other question po from our participants and concerns? Are there any further questions or comments po? Ma'am Bell, we have a question from Sir Adfrel Romulo. Good afternoon, ma'am. What were your advice to those who are using the mixed method for their research studies? Could the 3 writing styles be applied also for the chapters 4 and 5?
Yes, sir. You can use that, sir. Definitely, you can use those writing styles and structures in doing your results. In qualitative lang kasi, it's not results, it's findings. Okay, so there is just change of nomenclature, but the structure is still the same.
Okay, follow-up question po, Ma'am Bell. How about the advice po for using the mixed method for their studies?
Sir, what advice po? may I be clarified? How about the advice?
I think tinatanong niya, Ma'am Bell, ano pa yung advice in using the
Mixed methods?
method?
I think, okay, for my advice, actually, sir, you're doing the right thing. Because in the publications nowadays, they are opting for papers using the mixed methods. Kaya please continue doing that. Okay? Please continue doing that. And you are at the right direction. Your paper has a good future. So you just need to spend more time and effort in finishing your mixed method study. Congratulations, sir. Hands up to you. Kasi hindi po lahat talaga medyo nakakayanan ang mixed method. It's a challenge. But for you, congratulations. Keep it up.
Okay, so if there are no additional questions po, I guess with that, we conclude the Q&A session for today's topic on writing the results, discussion, and conclusion. So again, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Maribel Paicana, of course, for your time po, ma'am, and for sharing your expertise. And of course, to all our participants, we hope po this session has provided insights into your research, of course.